Today we find ourselves back on our home planet doing another art challenge, and this time we're going to try out limited color palettes. So come with me. Welcome back, welcome back. It's another Wednesday. Everyone's excited. I'm excited because today I'm taking my quartet of aliens plus Slushie, and I'm going to use the limited color palettes for each one of them. It's going to be fun. As usual, the timestamps are in the description box down below if you'd like to skip to any specific section. For the first character, I decided to go with Spencer, and I had an idea for him immediately as soon as I saw this color palette, since it was only 2 colors plus 2 shades of the same color. So orange and blue, can't go wrong with that. And he is a Martian, so that makes it even easier. And for this design, this idea that I had immediately when seeing these colors, I immediately thought of an opening shot of Spencer standing in his garage, workshop / bedroom. Yes, all 3 in one. How nifty. Because cyborgs on Mars are quite discriminated against, so yeah, his living conditions are not the best. But I wanted to show his workshop and his place of living. And so the only thing I did not add that I wish I would have went back and added, but did not because I still thought it looked good by the end of this, was junk. I wanted to add so much more junk just because just the most mechanic thing I could think of is they collect many different parts from different cars and things of that variety that I've encountered in my life. And yeah, so I just wish I added more junk to this whole entire thing. But honestly, I think I captured enough. I even put some books in the background, some entertainment, some mostly schematics for his next part. And also on the table, I wanted to show that his metallic robotic eyeball is what he's fixing up at the moment, along with one of the casings for another cyborg on his other table. And so as you can see, when it comes to lining, it is very important in this piece. And it needs to be very, varied, so that you can definitely tell which line is for what and which line you want to draw attention to. That is the most important thing with lining. Anything with the darkest line is going to draw the most attention. So like the top where the cracks are is drawing my attention immediately because it's the most darkest. The same thing with Spencer himself. I would say the most challenging part about this whole entire project was the outlines, actually. It's just lining it up, because that's the most important, because all you have to do afterwards is adding the color. But adding the color is a bit tricky, especially when you only have 2 colors, like in this one. So for any object or person in this case, and or rock, is I wanted to make it a lighter color of orange. So the lightest shade I had on my palette, I used that to make any highlight, and it looks good. For Nova, I wanted it to be something celestial looking. It definitely had to involve planets and stars and everything that reminds me of Nova herself, because she is a star that has gained sentience, as I've said in almost every video when I have her. But I wanted to really emphasize that. And so for that, I made sure that when it came to this, that I kept it really light with the sketching. The sketching on this one only matters around the face. So like the eyes and the nose and the mouth and the face shape, as you can see here. And the hair I outlined with the colors, because the colors are to make her look like she is a part of the stars herself, because she is a part of the stars. And I also added in her Nova that's always swirling on her skin that looks kind of like a replacement for freckles, but it is stars. She literally has stars on her skin naturally. I love that about her. And so yeah, I had to implement that, of course. And so there she is holding Earth and the moon, and then there's Mars in the background and another planet which I'm blanking the name of. And I think it looks like what I was going for. Very celestial and cosmic beauty. My 2 favorite things. And all the pink, it just looks so good. I love this. I do. It's my favorite so far. Rondo, 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 my fish alien. They are the best. I love them like all my other characters. And so for this, to catch their vibe, his vibe, I definitely had to give him an 80s color palette. Very vintage. Had to really capture the vibe. And then for the background, I had to go with a geometric pattern with some squiggles. You know, just really make sure I have the 80s vibe down to a solid check. I even asked my mother, who was a teenager during the 80s, so it's 100% verified. Very 80s, trust me. And so, yeah, just like this. And I really wanted to add movement in this picture, so I had him doing like this, like he's bending forward or moving forward or turning. And so, yeah, and I was supposed to add like his gun, his pew pew in his hand, but I forgot. After doing all the geometric patterns, I forgot. That was so much line work. I think I just wanted to move on to the next one after it, but the line work was actually pretty fun, but it just took a lot of honing and focusing, and I wanted to get this one done, and I wanted to look good. That was another thing. I just wanted it to look composed correctly. So, yeah, I took my time on this one a little bit. Oh, and to catch the movement, I put in movement lines, and I thought that'd also just be really cool because it gives more of the comic book vibe that I'm always going for and striving for, because I just really like the way it looks. And also in the Spider-Verse, those movies, if you guys haven't seen those, or if you have, hey, they have the lines of motion in it, and I geek every time I see it. I love it. And so I had to add some motion lines in this. Looks great. So just so you get that extra emphasis, some dramatics, because Rondo needs the dramatics, okay? He's my funny character of the group. I mean, they're all funny separately, but he is the main one. And so, yeah. And I want them to look great, alright? I wanted them to look fresh, dope, gnarly, even. So I will admit to the fact that I slightly cheated on this one. just confessing. Because when it comes to when I start coloring Rondo, right here, I added some colors that were not technically on the palette, okay? Because it just was not looking right otherwise. But final product looks amazing. Prince Fe-Lix Arachno. Yep, Arachno, that's the planet's name. I've decided, and we got to make that choice together. So glad we're here for each other for that one. Thank you for listening. But anyways, I wanted to draw him holding a bunch of cute little babies of some kind. I don't know what. At first, I was going to do like baby spiders, and then I realized I really don't want to draw a bunch of baby spiders, actually. Because, if you did not know, he is based off of my greatest fear, spiders. I may not have given him 8 eyes, but this is as many as I can handle, y'all. Same thing with his arms. There's only 6 of them. I mean, I can consider his legs part of the arms, so technically 8, but still, that was still too many drawing wise, and just that's the limitation my fear had on this one. But maybe in next week's video, I'll try to do a version of him with more spider in him. Oh God, I dread it. But anyways, back to this. Yeah. So I wanted him to hold something really cute and cuddly because he looks fierce and mean, and he does have anger issues, but it does not mean that he can't be soft and cuddly. I decided to make a hybrid creature, a raccoon and a narwhal, and I smashed them together, and now they're narwhal raccoons. Look at those puppies. And Fe-Lix, he is the most motherly of the group. He is the mother of the friend group, so to speak, which is hilarious because him being angry constantly and constantly, yelling, it's not because he's actually angry. I mean, he has some traits like a spider, right? And they don't really they hear vibrations. So, fun facts. So yeah, I went with that, and it looks adorable. It gives off the feminine masculine that I want. Very mother of him. Slushie. Slushie is the baby of the crew. He is the youngest. and he was made like halfway through the series, so he quite literally is baby. He's a teenager, but he's still baby, okay? And being the youngest, he's the most chaotic one. Also really dumb. Love him for it. But yeah, and because he's so chaotic and just has a lot of traits like his parents of this group, of which I will not reveal because that's a big surprise of his story. Oh my goodness. At some point, I'll get the comic out, I promise, guys. And you will know everyone's relationship by then, I promise. But except for maybe one video I did already talking about the OCs on the OC ideas, if you want to check it out. But for this one, I wanted to give him a rainbow palette because I thought it was the perfect ending to this video. And I'm going to tell y'all in advance, I royally messed this one up. I completely went off course. I did not stick to the challenge at all. I broke all the rules. So this one, in terms of following the challenge rules, F-. Failed, flunked. But composition wise, this is a B+, baby. I love it. And so there's some things I kept. I kept his purple hair and his eye color, which is blue and red, and also his jacket, which is orange. Everything else though, well, actually no, I kept his skin color too. I almost forgot about that. Oh my goodness. And that was definitely not part of the color palette. I was gonna stick to the color palette, but then I was like, it's gonna get too messy and chaotic for anyone to really see. So I just took his vitiligo spots and made them into the rainbow palette. But I think it looks amazing. He looks so cool and trippy. Thank you for watching this video. Other related videos like this are on the left hand side. As usual, bye!